Hey guys, this is the last recording that I have to do. It's all about editing. So unfortunately, it's going to be short because I can't provide much value. And the reason why is because it's so much better to provide value while I'm thinking about editing, when I'm actually showing it live how I'm currently editing. So right here, I'm just going to talk about tips and show you still some things that I have, which are pretty good and you can definitely use. But overall, you need more of your own experience and you really need an eye to see what type of editing is good. Now, I don't want to make you guys actual editors, like professional editors. What I do is not professional, nor the rest of you guys. Okay, most of you don't know how to edit, but I want you to use editing to your advantage because the videos that we're making are talking head videos. So talking head videos are literally just videos where you take footage of me talking right now and you can put anything up on screen. All right. It's literally just that. That's what we're doing. And so there's many ways we can edit these types of videos and I'll show you my best tips. You can see it from my own videos, right? You can even just copy that or copy the two other ones. So this guy, right, Hubert, makes pretty good edits. He knows how to edit. And also right here, Mr. Eric can also edit well. All right. And I can also edit cool. I did like more effort in the last few ones, definitely. But point is, this is literally all I have for the course outline. And let's get into it. Editing is literally just about adding life, adding more clarity, and adding more retention points to your video. It basically just makes your video much better. It's better to literally just have something that I can watch, somebody speaking, and then that speaking comes to life, and that speaking becomes interesting. And if you back up your script along with good editing, then it really just makes a great video, all right? And basically, editing is your own personality. That's where you put your own sass into it. And so, for example, one of my favorite sass moments is adding visualizations. So we can check even right now. I think I said it in, yeah, we can check this one out.
Never, and I mean never, open a meeting with.
All right, bro.
Life?
Okay. So you can see right here, I make the analogy of going back to school. I visualize with images. To be fair, this is actually bad editing. All right. Don't get weirded out by me saying that this is bad editing. I realized that one of my biggest flaws was actually having too many elements up on screen. So it kind of like devastates people into just oblivion. Like here, for example, it's simple because there's two elements up on screen. I'm visualizing God being the principal and the test being your life. I like the creative idea of the TV. Like that's pretty good, right? So editing is really just about creativity, showing up things on screen. But there's a better way that you can actually do this for real. There's genuinely a better way to do this, And so let's check what do I have to say. Yeah, so basically this is just how editing works as a whole. Now we're gonna look at the whole workflow of editing. And this is really important because I had a call with Hubert, right, Mr. 567. And he told me that it takes for him, all right, so to make this video or that video, it takes him 20 hours minimum. 20 hours just to edit. And he was shocked when I told him that it takes me 2 hours only and 5 hours in total to make a whole video. It shocked him. And so I'm really going to show you guys how to edit quickly, smoothly, and how to get good at it for real. If you're really bad at editing, it's going to take you time to practice, especially if you've never touched anything about editing. But you guys need to put in effort to actually try to get the text, to make the zoom ins, to actually add tension through the editing. All of that can be taught. I cannot really teach that because it's really just in my mind, I can only show it off instead of actually structuring it, teaching it, And anyways, like these two guys, I told them to actually add their own part of the editing course. So I hope you guys are actually gonna do something good, right? You don't have to complicate anything. You guys are probably even better than me in terms of the understanding. You're actually doing it better than me, all right? I'm just like putting things up on screen. It's not good editing. So yeah, you guys definitely showed better than me, than whatever I did here. All right. All right. Step number 1 of editing workflow. After you make your recording, so here's one recording that I have. It's a draft. I'm not gonna use it because it's too long. This is literally just me putting up every recording that I have. So if you listen to the tutorial for recording, I told you to just do it in one take. So this is one take, then you got a second take and then a third take, and I put it all together, okay? And what you do with editing, you first have to take that raw footage and then you actually shorten all of the dead air, all right? What software should you use? I use CapCut because it's very convenient for me, but I'm probably going to convert to DaVinci Resolve because 1, it's free, and 2, there's just like better options. The problem with CapCut is just that so many things are limited, you know? There's so many options that are limited. I'm gonna show you a bit later, but right here, first step, this shouldn't take more than an hour, even if you have a 40-minute thing. The first step that I suggest you to do is removing the dead air. So how do you do that? So when you make a lot of retakes in your footage, you can like see the gestures that you have. I usually remember what I say and how I say it. You can see it's like the same movement basically, but it doesn't matter because with CapCut, you can do this. So right here, we got a tool called split, and that allows you to split. So Command B, bam, bam. I just scroll my mouse pad like this, and I do it all the way until the end. So you can either do that, or you can find yourself in AI. So here, off with this one. So usually when I record, I make the gesture of this. So I know that I'll just remove this anyways, okay? Just to save space. So you can either do this, cutting manually, and then you do that for the rest of the video and select all of the dead air like this, okay? You just do that. And then you're gonna have a whole video that looks like this, right? Or if you wanna make it simpler, just use AI. I think there's a tool called Captions where you can literally just automatically cut the dead air, or even CapCut has like has something to actually cut your stuff, you know, to basically cut it off, all of this stuff, all the dead air. Okay, so it's gonna save you a lot of time, especially if you got 40 minutes of footage, which will probably turn out as like 18 minutes of video. So imagine this is the entire video. Okay, now what you should do is generate some captions. And the reason why I do that is so that I can observe the different clips that I have. So usually I just do this. I don't even like add captions willingly. You know, I don't add captions in my videos. You guys can if you want. But bam. So I repeat, Jesus is second coming, Jesus is second coming. And here I'm just reading the script. So I can see that I can delete this first one. And I'm just reading right here, and then again there. So many. I nailed this one. So for you Christians, with this one, so many Christians expect blah blah blah. So many Christians expect. So you can see the repetitions are there, and then you can rewatch just in case. I mean, after you get like all the right clips of your repetitions and stuff, because you know exactly what you want to say, you rewatch it. And make sure that the transitions are smooth between the clips. So right here, we got space. You with the Bible. And I'll also tell you. That's good. And right here, the difference is actually gonna happen. So for you Christian. Me personally, it's a bit too short, so I would just do that very simply. Happen. So for you Christians, that's how you do it. This is literally just turning raw footage into usable with footage. This one. So many Christians. So I know that here, with this one, I know that if I'm pointing something like with this one, I want to make it just hold a bit longer. And then bam, we switch instantly right here.
One. So many Christians expect Jesus to come back in a glorious...
Yeah, I like that.
This one. So many Christians expect Jesus to come back in a glorious way.
Okay, so that's pretty much how to turn from raw footage to cutting noises and coming up with the useful clips. If you don't know how to do this, bro, you genuinely need to get that basic out of the way, okay? And then the next step is actually editing in the first 30 seconds.
Jesus' second coming is never gonna happen.
So what I usually think about is, I'm actually getting into the editing process, but I'll just show you like other elements that you can use. But right here, it's important to use the first 30 seconds, not to hyper edit it, all right? But you need good enough editing to actually hook people into the subject, all right? So if you have a good enough script, right here, I didn't work on any script hooking at all. Like this guy didn't know about scripting and curiosity loops or gaps. That was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But you can still visualize stuff. I'll tell you my editing tricks. So basically, I love to visualize words, put them up on screen, put images up on screen. When you do edit, put images up on screen, I would rather for you guys to download PNGs. So you literally just go on Google Chrome. If you want Jesus, you take a transparent PNG. That's what you have to search up. And bam, you just take the right image. First of all, check if the PNG actually works. So right here it works, but I don't like it. Here it works, but I don't like it. Here it also works, but I don't like it that much, you know? I've used this one sometimes. You basically just scroll, bam. So like that's a valid one, I like it. Or I could use you know, you could just like use any, but if you see this in the background, as it pops up, not here because it's already like there, so it doesn't show as a true PNG, you know? There you go, this is my Jesus PNG. You literally just download it and put it onto the screen. Have it like nice effects, nice transitions, all of that. That's interesting too. But you can see it didn't turn into the pixels. And so if you want to really use this, that's why I have the tool AI Enhancer.ai. And in this website, I don't know if I made like a specific AI module, but in image tools, you can go to image remover and then remove the background. If you want to really use something like this and keep the same quality. If you don't care about quality whatsoever, you can just go to remove.bg and then you drop your file and it's going to remove your background, but reduce the quality by a lot. All right. What else do I want to show? Okay. So I would edit greatly the first 30 seconds by visualizing it. And I'm going to show you the very basics that you need to actually learn. All right. I'll show you how to actually put pleasing text. So first of all, it's going to give you a default text, but I want you guys to actually scroll through a bunch of fonts that you like. Not that you like, but that are actually clean, you know? So for example, I want to search up Montserrat. That's a clean font. And then bam, like it doesn't look good with the bold. If you want, just do that. No. Problem with the glow, I overdid the glow usually. So you can just lower the intensity for sure. And yeah, it looks better, definitely. So coming. Imagine I just add Jesus right here and then
Second coming is never.
And then I cross it out. So that's what I can visualize basically. Because Jesus' second coming is never gonna happen. So I recommend you to basically get a PNG of a red X like that, you know. When I'm actually struggling, it looks better. Yeah, it looks fine here. Oops. Bam. So this is literally what I
coming
would do.
is never gonna happen. And
So you can see how the elements are introduced. That's why you go to animations. The problem with CapCut, all right, it's actually that these change all the time. It genuinely
We're gonna
changes all the time, and it just, I hate it. I really don't like it, which is why I'm gonna switch eventually to something else. And it just shows like random edits. I don't like it at all. You know?
Bible.
Like this day, it just shows so many more of these. I don't get it. Loops, whatever. Just like scroll around, but don't over edit anything, and take the simplest transitions, take the simplest effects. You can find a bunch of effects here, but I'll show you the ones that are relevant and that actually work nicely. Forget the stickers unless you really need like an arrow or something. You know, like arrow to, you point it to Jesus PNG. Okay. What's good though is that it proposes a lot of music. I have no idea how to use music, but you can try. That's all I can really say. You can try to add music, because I'm definitely missing the soundscape in my videos.
Is never gonna happen. And
Bam. All right. So this is the basics of editing. Now I can show you more things like captions. My opinion on captions, sure, add it if you want. If it's more of like a talking video and you don't really want to edit any details whatsoever. Something else you can also add is B-roll. So B-roll is basically just background footage. So A-roll is the main footage right here, but then you can just add like
happen.
Jesus' second coming is never going to happen, and then you have like an image of Christians waiting for Jesus, you know. There's an art of getting the right B-roll, all right? And if you've watched enough YouTube videos, you'll understand what that truly is. But most of the time, you guys suck with B-roll, okay? Like, you don't know what B-roll is because you haven't watched enough YouTube videos obsessively, you know? There's really an art of getting right B-roll, and I don't know how to define it with words. Sound design, we're gonna see it later. And then do not over edit. Be unpredictable. You have to be unpredictable and not really use common presets, which is another drawback from CapCut, you know. Yeah, this is basically all I can really say, and I'm gonna show you a better example right now. All right, so as you can see, this is my project file for the Life is a Test video. I had to re-download the video right here because I deleted the actual footage that I edited with, but we still have the presets right here, like the little PNGs basically, okay? We basically got that. Something else that's really annoying about CapCut is that I have to literally download the, what's it called? That I have to download the file in MP4 because I cannot drag a literal audio file into CapCut itself. Bro, CapCut is genuinely limited and I hate it. I don't want to use it. You know, hands, PNG, transparent PNG, you see. School. I took like 5 hours to edit this one actually. Like I took some time to be creative and all that. Yeah. So let's see how it looks like in the first thing. Usually what we call a sequence is just like all of the editing elements that you have. You know, it's either images or text.
Life is just a test.
So I added a sound effect that's kind of dramatic, which is one of the sound effects you can use, all right? And just right here.
Is just a test. Will you pass it?
This is my style. I like to put words in the beginning. Life is just a test. Will you pass it? I might have to redo it, but like renovate. But this is like one of my character traits for editing. It's basically my personality, you know. Here's a visualization.
As soon as you die,
That's you.
you will get judged for every single thing you've
So,
ever done. This
hammer. Bam, bam, bam.
includes your thoughts, your actions, your
These are some Silent Hill noises from Bonnie.
intentions. And in this video, we're going to see how to pass this test.
Voila. You see? It's so smooth. Like this is actually smooth.
See how to pass this test of life.
You just need to play around with the effects and find what's actually good.
And by the way, this is not some clickbait stuff because I truly clickbait stuff because I truly mean it.
Here, there's no editing because it's like, and by the way, this is actually serious. So I added a pause and I reintroduced it with a
Because
bunch
I
of numbers.
truly mean it when I say that 97% of people go to hell and 3% actually pass the test of life. But in any
It's a bit too exaggerated in my taste, but you can see how I visualized everything, you know? My tip is to actually not have images like that, like square images, because it looks ugly, first of all. The chapters, that actually, I'm gonna stop with that. I don't want chapters to be visible like that. You can definitely simplify everything, you know? The TV right here, for example, is creative, you know? And it literally just tunes into
words of
the
Christ.
Avengers.
Difference and equity.
Yeah, it literally just turns into the Avengers like this. This is ugly. This is actually ugly, bro. I don't know why I kept editing like this and not putting in effort to actually visualize it great, like those actual, like, if you want to know what I'm talking about, go to YouTube right now and just search up Ali Abdaal, and you'll see great examples of how this type of footage should actually work. You know, like talking head videos, you know, to actually make it look nice and crisp, all right? For real. Okay. Bam. So another of my flaws is actually that the words are too long up on the screen, you know? It's actually too long, genuinely, and it just distracts people from my words when you think about it. Here's another visualization, the vine and the tree. Nice. And then I just got lazy and I didn't edit the rest. Pretty much. Right here, definitely. This got some little tension. And yeah, that's literally just how I edit. I'm pretty sure there's better ways to do so, and that's what I'm gonna try to practice on for the next few months, for real. All right. And now, after checking all of that, I'm gonna show you many tricks and tips that you can actually apply onto your videos. All right. So I got a bunch of stuff right here, and we're gonna check it all together. All right, step by step. And the way that I came up with these is literally just looking up for CapCut skills or CapCut tricks, and then I just applied it. Like, if you guys want to learn editing, that's all you really need. And more specifically, look into talking head videos, how they're actually shaped, or even just the TikTok short type of editings, because that can easily be applied also onto our style, okay? So for example, right here, you want to talk about Jesus is actually king, and you show a crown, you visualize it. The way that I did it is by having a crown revolving like this from a green screen. I added another layer so that I can, I added another layer. I made it dark, transparent. So you make it transparent here. You make it blurry with an effect that comes from right here. It's called blur, the effect. And inside you also have, what else did I put on this? In terms of adjustments, I also made it dark completely, like without colors basically, you see? I made it without colors, so it looks like a shadow. And then I just played around with the text. Right here it's Sophia Pro Bold, which is a good font. All right, use it if you're gonna use CapCut. And then this kind of fancy text, you can change it to whatever. And then what I did also, if you actually want to make this revolving effect, you first have to take all of these elements, all right, all of the elements right here, and then you right click and create compound clip. Create compound clip basically just means that you put all of this together. Okay, you put all of this together, and then you can actually do whatever you want right here. So I'll show you another trick that you can use when you're actually going to make your videos. You're gonna notice that you can change some stuff. So right here, you got the scale. So how big the video actually is. You got the position of the video itself, which is more used for like elements Bam. You see what I mean? Rotation. What else? Blend. Yeah, sure. Another thing. And with these things, what you can do is basically just set these keyframes, as you can see right here. And what's important for you guys is to click on show variable speed animations, and then you're gonna see how to make it smooth. So there's better examples than this. Yeah, it's not that great. Another thing that I made also is this right here. You can hide the variables again. This is for if you want to show up a character. It can be Jesus, it can be anyone really. Just like make something aesthetic. I made it sort of aesthetic with like the paper background that changes all the time. No, it doesn't actually. And the text that's kind of smoothly coming. I don't like the cooked, but the idea is there basically. Okay. The way that you could create this effect, I first created it by just taking this blue background and adding a mask off. No, actually I didn't add a mask. I already made this PNG on Canva. Okay. But then when I did though, for Heisenberg, what I did right here is I took a mask, which is basically just like cropping it within the file itself. And you can see right here the fine lines, okay? And with this fine line, Heisenberg doesn't go past it, you know? So it kind of blocks it basically, right? Because if I put it right here, it's gonna do nothing. I mean, yeah, that's the shadow. Let me just do this. See? Bam. Okay, I also added a shadow on him so it looks smooth. I made it like a bit on the side. The font for the thing behind Heisenberg, I like it. It's called Souvenir. All right, you guys can copy. Then you got random Japanese letters that I like. Cooked. Matic BD. All right. I don't know why I messed up the effect right there. Sure. See, I'm like literally just showing you how to do this type of stuff.
So the other day, I almost pissed myself.
That's an example of just showing words. You can do that for 3 seconds.
The other day, I almost pissed myself.
That really looks like a meme-ish type of editing. Here, this is the tutorial that I used for the things I showed you earlier. Like the types of videos. Matt Louis is specialized in CapCut. All right. Here's an easy trick you can make, guys, for your intros especially. Effect number 1. Listen to me carefully or else you're gonna burn in hell. So do you see how simple it is? The way that I did that is I took this, I duplicated it, and then what I did is remove the background. So actually, you can see it's just me with the removed background. You can do it with a free version of CapCut, which is this painting, but I got too lazy, so I just auto-removed with Pro. You know? I don't have Pro, by the way. I didn't buy it. And then what you do with this, all right, you take the right image, something like that, basically, which is a vignette, but, you know, sort of dark. I would make it a bit more transparent. It's kind of dramatic right here. How do I blend? Yeah. Okay, something like that, basically. And you can see that you can improve, like, the green screen ain't that good. So, yeah, you definitely need a good quality camera. Number 1, listen to me carefully. But you can see how, like, it instantly just puts life within the room, you know? Fully, or else you're gonna burn in hell. And you can then add, like, fire effects. Effect number 2, I'm going to say something very interesting, but there's a catch to that. If you're ever gonna zoom in, make sure that you have like something like a red line like this. You can delete later, but have a red line and make sure that it goes literally at the same place as your eyes, you know? Because if the video is sort of like this, right? So I'm looking at the eyes, which are actually up here, and then it actually goes down. It makes the viewer's eyes move, right? So make sure to have it in the same line when you're gonna like zoom in or out. Here's something else. Effect number 3. You all know this one. I'm going to say something very serious, guys. But wait a second. Here is a good example of being smooth. You all know this one. I'm going to say something very serious, guys. I don't know why it switches mid. Very serious, guys. Mid like thing, whatever. But you can see right here, I added a keyframe so that it goes from this side of the footage to that. Just a bit of zoom. I applied the trick from before with the eye line. And then what I did, so I first applied this little zoom, but then what you're gonna do is go to show variables, and then by selecting this, you have this little icon called preset curves, and then right here, you can find what makes it smooth. So for example, I'm going to say something very See, and this is like the smoothest one that I can see, so that's what I'm gonna be using. All right, as simple as that. Middle same level, please. Serious, guys. But wait a second. See, so like play around with this basically. Okay, now this one.
Effect number 4, very easy to use, and I would definitely not have that for the entire video.
You can see that the captions are too quick, so that's why you should do more
Effect
captions
number
like
4,
this.
very easy.
If you're going to use captions, my big advice is actually make it aesthetic. This does catch a lot of attention. It might be like annoying a bit, but it's better than nothing if you're going to use captions. Like, don't use the boring ones. You can see right here, use like a good font, and then you can just find in the effects right here. Wait, sorry. It's in hide the variables, bro. So you can see right here in the effects, I'm gonna find it that this is literally just one of the effects. Boom, it's the paper one. I can change it to this one or that one, or even this wooden one. I don't want to connect to even this wooden one, right? So just like play around with it, find what's actually looking good, not just what you like. Most of the time it's actually what looks good that works better. Okay, that's for captions. Here's a little trick. I tried to apply it onto one of my favorite images, and bam. Okay, I literally just did that. Hello, neighbor.
Effect, I don't know number what, but use clear.
So look at the difference in footage. If you don't want to color grade, if you don't want to make any effects, literally just improve the coloring by going to effects and you search up filter, and it's gonna add like some clear stuff basically. All right. Filter carousel, that's weird. And then what you can also do if you want to just like highlight special things, if you have like a red apple, you can literally just highlight the red apple by selecting the colors. So HSL, you got the wheel right here. You can see that I removed the saturation from everything else. So if I increase it again, you can see, hey, it's me again. But if I remove the saturation, bam, I've just lost, and couch is the only thing that's present. Okay. Bam, now it's black and white. If I want to highlight some green, I would do so, but there's no green. Purple, nah. Yellow, I'm not yellow. Bit of orange, my skin. Highlight myself a bit. Yeah, that's kind of selfish. Yeah, that kind of looks uncanny, but you get the point. If you want to highlight something, you do that. Here's another
So that your image
idea.
is clear.
And then you pause the image,
Image is clear.
you add the clicking noise, and then you have the rock literally just on the side. It can be like you popping out of the screen, whatever.
So that
Also, when you're gonna show verses, I suggest you to add some aesthetic type of box. Right here, it's literally just a preset type of box, but make sure that you have nice looking boxes, all right?
It's clear. Here. So that your image is clear.
Audio, bro. I don't know what that means. B-roll, when you use B-roll, make it relevant to the situation and make it smooth. You have to also know if it's going to be like Gen Z type of B-roll or actual documentary style B-roll. Like you have to basically select what it's going to be about. Usually with B-roll, I also find that slow-mo footages actually work great, okay? And stock footage, to be fair, right? Without the like watermarks. And better yet, you can record your own B-roll. So imagine I'm making a video about productivity. I just put the laptop on my side, I'm on my desk, there's good lighting, and I'm just like this, all right? Imagine this is the B-roll when I'm talking about and this is how you should actually be productive on your computer. You know, you get what I mean, right? Record your own B-roll if you want to make it crazy. And also for transitions, this is the Anton font right here. Sure. You guys, don't blur my eyes out when you make transitions, all right? I like both of the good editors from the Disciple server are using
okay?
Glare. I don't want to use Glare that much, man. I don't
Hear
like
me
it.
okay? Hear me?
Other names of effects are fade in, slide, pull in, and glare. Fade in is basically like the most basic transition ever, where it's just like fading between two footages, sort of like this, even though that's not the effect being applied. This is just a CapCut funny. CapCut proposes a lot of these childish things, but I really don't like it. Also, something that I like, darken the screen, and then just give a disclaimer of, watch out, this video contains truth. Are you ready for it? I want to try to do that for sure. Alright, watch out. This is so cool. Check it out. Blah, 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 blah. This looks like a shorts, dude. This actually looks like a shorts, man. This is so cool. Okay, so imagine you just improve the captions right here. You see that there's a slight zoom in, which is slow. And at the same time, red, obviously. And then you see the transition with the paper background that's fast. And you can like get out of frame. Imagine I'm covering like this. And then you show something up on screen, bruh. Like it actually works nicely. I'll show you, to be fair, what I have. So I recorded, I don't know what's called. Let's check my media actually. Yeah, free stock video crumpled paper background. That's literally what I downloaded. I saw it from like a tutorial, and that's a pretty nice effect, bro. I really want this. It's an easy way to actually make cool things, all right? This is so cool. Check it out. And then you can also have like a slow ring, and of course like better. You don't want the hook to be, this is so cool, check it out. That's a bad hook, all right? That's a horrible hook. Blah, 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 blah. You get the point though. That's literally how our shorts look. Genius shorts idea, imagine blah, blah, blah. I already talked about it in the shorts effect. Content creator templates. Use that if you want templates, sure. Here's some more editings. Effect number 3. You all know this one. I'm going to say something very serious, guys. Okay, this is just a user older clip. What I did right here, instead of just showing a boring screenshot, I actually just visualized a pop-up of Jesus's figure. So I wanted a Jesus icon, so it gave me an orthodox circle like that. And what I did originally, let's check it right here. Is it a compound? I don't know. Yeah, it's not compound. What I did basically with the mask, I added a circle mask so I can actually cut it off like this, you know? And then what I did is basically I want you to notice very in detail all the keyframes that I added. So it's in the span of like, not even like much less of a quarter of a second, you know? It's like half a second. So look, first, you can also check the scale right here. First, it's all the way up, at 48, and then it goes back down to 43, and then it returns a bit like above the previous one, but not bigger than last one. So what that basically does is sort of like a boing, boing, like something coming.
For free, y'all know this.
You see?
Free, y'all.
And that's what Ali Abdaal does actually for his edits. You know, he just like has icons that pop up like that.
Free, y'all know.
And then you
this
can see
one.
how it moves smoothly around the thing. And I'm pretty sure that I used is it animations? I don't think it is. No. It's not animations. Palmo. It's actually I can't find it. Effects? Oh, effects. Okay, so it's play pendulum. And right here in the play pendulum, I just lowered twist, sharpen, and then I added strength and speed right here, which are the effects needed to actually just make it nicely smooth like that.
One.
All right.
I'm going to say something very serious, guys.
And here are a bunch of more fonts that I figured out are pretty nice. All right, so we got, this is sort of my liking, my style of font that I like. This type of font, I used it for most of my videos, I'm pretty sure. This one's also cool. Can I not? Is that a compound? No, I didn't compound it. What do you mean? Other one, Hiragino Sans W7. Papyrus. I like Papyrus. I like Comic Sans also. You know, I like both skeletons. No, I don't use this, but like I just like it. Why is this compound? Yeah, you got Sophia Bold as the word. Oh, it's compound because I made it like, you see like how it actually appears slowly. There's the effect, which is a nice effect of if you want to make a word appear. So look at Sophia Bold,
Serious,
bam.
guys.
Okay, again,
Serious,
bam. That's just like applying one of the effects, but most likely what it also does is the fade in. Here's without the fade in.
Serious, guys.
It does the same effect, but you get the point. You can add effects onto the text and make sure that the way that it goes out is also smooth. And then something else that I like, sort of for my epileptic type of editing dreams, is a word that literally just changes like this.
Serious, guys.
All right, you get like better fonts, you make it better synchronized, and you can play around with that, really.
Serious, guys.
I like it. Here's something that I proposed to Eric. I showed him like something like this, first of all, and he took my advice. It's a better background that he has now. But then, if you really want to level it up, here's a template that I found from Ali Abdaal type of videos. Check it out. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. So you can see it kind of, I don't like how it reveals itself like that because I couldn't find the typewriter animation. Is this the in? Yeah, I can't. It doesn't pop up. I'm just gonna use a Pro. I don't care. All right, you get the point though. Wait. I need to match it with the red line coming up. Yeah. Is it? It doesn't come up at the same time. 15. No, too late. Okay, so you get the point. It basically just flashes a bunch of text slowly, and you read it out in the voiceover, and you literally just add a line like this, which has the same effect, but it's just an underscore that has been, how'd you call it? Builder. That has been, what did I do? Yeah, I just stretched the width itself. So I like basically unlocked it, and then I just played around with the width and the height, all right? And I made it bam in the background, like whenever it was. But wait a sec. And I literally just took the ending of that clip, I compounded it, and then I just applied the effect of it going down smoothly again. And again, it's smoothly because when you show the variables, we check the y-axis and we see again that I applied it by just selecting it and checking this out. Cubic ease, you know? I do also recommend that, yeah, you should add more of that blurriness effect earlier. Yeah, the fade out is like,
But wait,
okay, that's better. That's better, yeah.
but wait a second. Where
You also hear the noise for some reason. Yeah, definitely add noises with your transitions.
But wait a second. Where did I come from? Alright guys, today
Yeah. And so now this is the Mara part. So this is for Kevin right here. And for anyone that actually wants to do these types of videos still. What I did right here, here's something that he made. Definitely just like make it more clean than this, right? Like this is not visible whatsoever. It's not aesthetic at all, nor structured.
Alright guys, today
And you can see right here, we got the image of me. I compounded the entire clip, but if we uncompound it, so undo compound clip, we're gonna see that I actually just added the image of me. So this is me with a mask that I added onto myself. So the actual clip is here, but I just zoomed in more. And then I got this image, I got this image from just like Google. You can add a better background, obviously, and that's actually more round. And basically what I did with all of this is, I added a play pendulum effect, like a pendulum effect, so that it moves
Alright guys,
smoothly
today we're gonna make
across the video, so it's not that boring, you know? And watch the whole clip.
Alright guys, today we're gonna make about blah 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 blah. This is what we want.
You get the point. Like you can also just make it smooth with it. And there's so much potential with this, like this type of content to make it actually clean. And yeah, this is what I used. Cutting, talking. This is what I used for the rest of the clips I have. So let's check it out.
In today's video, we're gonna
Listen.
in today's video
Do you hear the zoom in, bro? Like there's no effects that I added. It's literally just zoom in.
in today's video, we're gonna be doing an experiment. In today's video, we're gonna be doing an experiment.
I literally just copied the intro of this video right here, just so you know.
Be doing an experiment.
The way that I did this, again, I removed the background, then I added text behind, all right? I added like nice type of text appearing, okay?
Is it possible to be doing this when you know that we can be doing that?
A better way to do that
Is it possible to be doing this when you know that we can be doing that?
I don't know what I'm even saying.
Is it possible to be doing this when you know?
So you see, like I literally took that as a compound clip, I compounded it, and then
Is it possible to be doing this when you know that we can be doing that?
boom. So you see how it's better actually. For real. Now listen to what he's gonna say.
The nature of the slow zoom is that you're gonna get interested and time passes slower. Because if I redo it without it, the nature of the slow zoom is that you're gonna get interested and time passes slower. Because if I redo it without it,
So you see the difference here and here. And the slow zoom is always going to be better if you really want to catch people's attentions and make time actually pass slower. It generally does that if you notice it. Also, here's an old school YouTube trick.
this is an old school YouTube trick where you can literally just cut and all you have to do is turn your head. Not dramatically, but you get what I mean.
This is what Pedro did for one of his footages. Here's another thing you can do. You just have a clip and then you like border it. This comes from that video. I like this also. That's definitely one of my aesthetics that I want to apply. Sort of like the TV type of, it's not flat, but it's actually like curved up when I want to show a clip. 5 S's, something like on the side you can also add. Basically, I have more sauce in my mind, and I generally have a concept of how to actually edit and how to search for these editing things, but that comes from a lot of experience. To be fair, I made above around 300 videos in my life, 50 proper YouTube videos in my life, you know? So I'm pretty good at editing and knowing what actually works. All I have to do is improve and apply it onto a style consistently over many months so I can actually master editing style, you know? I already did a bunch. I made a liminal space video, if that even matters to you. I know what B-roll to add subconsciously. I know all this editing stuff, right? I think we over-yapped ourselves, but yeah, basically just do the most effective editing. You don't need to do all that stuff that I talked about, all right? That's it, all right? Save some time. This is just a bunch of tips that I literally gave. Have fun, stay safe, peace. This is literally the only thing I have to record left. Let me remove my headphones, let me talk to you, if you're even still here.